Russia insists all is well and that they are strong, but with a growing economic crisis and Trump's looming 50-day tariff ultimatum, Moscow faces increasing pressure as NATO ramps up support for Ukraine. That's in our episode. Let's unpack the details and put you in focus on these hot events. This is UATV. Be sure to follow us on YouTube and socials for the latest news and unique stories. What do we know about Russia's statement, everything is under control? I have some points to name. Once a magnet for global investors, the St. Petersburg Economic Forum is now a close circle of Kremlin loyalists. Meanwhile, the numbers don't lie. A 3.4 trillion ruble deficit, vanishing export markets and soaring costs from sanctions evasion paint a bleak picture for Moscow's war-fueled economy. But what is Putin doing now? Putin carries on, not for Russians, not for Ukrainians, for power alone. So Trump draws a line. The other day it was 30 days, but that didn't work. Now it's 50 days to a deal or 100% tariffs. Billions in NATO-backed weapons for Ukraine are already in motion. Watch in our report.
The United States' economic and military efforts could compel Russia to enter negotiations and make concessions acceptable to Kyiv and Washington. This conclusion was reached by analysts at the Institute for the Study of War. They analyzed recent statements by Trump regarding military aid to Ukraine and potential sanctions against Russia. Russia's battlefield losses are a primary factor in its economic difficulties.
Forcing Putin either to make unpopular decisions or to face a scenario in which Russia cannot continue the war at the current tempo could bring Putin to the negotiating table, ready to offer concessions to end the war on terms acceptable to Ukraine and the United States, from a report by the Institute for the Study of War.
On July 14th, U.S. President Donald Trump announced plans to provide Ukraine with billions of dollars worth of weapons to be purchased by NATO, including Patriot systems. He also noted his disappointment with Russia's policy, which has intensified attacks on Ukraine in recent months. He stated that the U.S. plans to impose 100% secondary tariffs if a peace agreement is not reached within 50 days.
And I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there. So based on that, we're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple.
Russia's economy cannot withstand the strain. Moscow is using its assets for war rather than trade, Trump stated. According to the Institute for the Study of War, Russia's losses in the war against Ukraine and billions spent on its military-industrial complex are leading to rising inflation, labor shortages, and depletion of Russia's sovereign wealth fund.
ISW has repeatedly assessed in recent months that the Kremlin was pursuing various methods as part of wider efforts to delay the negotiation process and prolong the war in order to secure additional territorial gains on the battlefield, from a report by the Institute for the Study of War.
Kremlin propagandists are attempting to downplay Donald Trump's statements. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov remarked that, supposedly, we've been through this before. There was 24 hours, there was 100 days. However, the shift in Trump's rhetoric suggests that tough measures against Moscow may indeed be implemented, experts believe. In an interview with the BBC, U.S. President Donald Trump stated he is disappointed with Vladimir Putin, but has not entirely abandoned the idea of reaching an agreement with him. The intensified Russian attacks on Ukraine, which have surged in recent months, played a significant role in changing Trump's rhetoric. According to the Center for Countering Disinformation, the number of combined attacks in June increased 12-fold.
Russia can only exist in a state of bloody war. This country has no other competitiveness or agency. With his lies and bloodthirstiness, Putin has frankly irritated literally everyone, from the artificial intelligence Grok to the White House, from the recently neutral countries of Northern Europe to the global South, where fewer and fewer are willing to justify genocide. In the era of post-truth, the sincere true truth is recognized as Ukrainian, hard won on the battlefield. Mihailo Podolyak, advisor to the head of the Office of the President of Ukraine, on Telegram.
Increased 12-fold. It is necessary to do everything possible to force Russia to stop the killings, achieve real peace, and ensure security. Peace is only possible through strength, stated Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Ukraine will continue to increase its own weapons production and develop all defense projects, both domestic and in collaboration with partners.
And this is one of the priority tasks for the renewed government. We must increase the share of our own weapons production. This is an absolutely clear goal. We must participate in global technological competition through our own developments. We must direct more of our own Ukrainian economic strength to support our defense forces of Ukraine. The world knows where to strike to make Putin feel pain and to make Russia feel the need to seek peace. Russia's money for the war must be cut off. Russia's ties with Iran and North Korea must be severed. Any supplies of components and equipment for Russia's military industry must be cut off.
Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov has already stated that Moscow is supposedly ready for negotiations following Trump's threat of sanctions on buyers of Russian exports. However, he did not miss the opportunity to say that Russia, allegedly, does not accept ultimatums. Zelensky previously noted that until the parties complete the exchanges agreed upon at the second Istanbul meeting, it is premature to talk about full-fledged negotiations between Ukraine, Russia, and the U.S. He also emphasized that for a serious outcome and an end to the war, a leaders' summit must be prepared. Reported by Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.
So, what about weapons delivery? Berlin and Washington are about to make a game-changing move, sending advanced Patriot missile systems to Kyiv. The Patriots, short for phrase array tracking radar for intercept on target, are the U.S. Army's key missile defense system. Ukraine has said it needs 10 new Patriot batteries to protect itself against Russia's increased onslaught of missiles and drones. Kyiv has already received 6 fully operational Patriot batteries, 2 from the US, 2 from Germany, 1 from Romania, and the 1 jointly given by Germany and the Netherlands, according to the UK-based armed monitoring group Action on Armed Violence. With Germany, the Netherlands, and other NATO allies stepping up, Ukraine's skies are about to get stronger. Watch our full report.
Berlin and Washington are expected to make a decision within days or weeks on sending 2 U.S.-made Patriot air defense systems to Kyiv. The announcement came from German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius, following talks with his U.S. counterpart Pete Hegseth. Pistorius also called on a broad range of NATO member states to join efforts in purchasing Patriot missile systems and other American weapons urgently needed by Ukraine.
A few weeks ago, I spoke with Pete Hegseth on this topic over the phone, and during the conversation, I suggested that Germany could purchase 2 Patriot systems from the U.S. and deliver them directly to Ukraine. Simply because, given our current situation with supplying and maintaining Patriots, we cannot hand over another system, but we are ready to buy 2 due to the necessity we can no longer ignore. Ukraine needs more systems.
On July 14th, U.S. President Donald Trump announced preparations for delivering 17 Patriot systems to Ukraine and stated that many of them would be deployed to the battlefield soon. NATO will coordinate further deliveries, while other alliance countries will bear the financial cost.
We're going to make top-of-the-line weapons, and they'll be sent to NATO. A couple of the countries that have Patriots are going to swap over and will replace the Patriots with the ones they have. Donald Trump, President of the United States.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, following Trump's statement, confirmed that Ukraine will now receive a massive amount of air defense equipment, along with missiles and ammunition. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz called the decision to deliver weapons to Ukraine at scale an important initiative. Already in July, Ukraine is set to receive its first long-range systems funded by Germany, systems that, according to the Bundeswehr, will significantly strengthen Ukraine's air defense and military capacity in the coming weeks and months.
They need weapon systems capable of penetrating deep into Russian territory and striking depots, command centers, airfields, and aircraft. The first long-range weapons systems financed by Germany should be delivered by the end of July. After that, there will be deliveries in the hundreds. Christian Freuding, German Army General Major and Commanding Officer, in an interview with ZDF TV channel.
The Netherlands is ready to support the U.S. President Donald Trump's pledge and hopes other countries will follow suit, according to the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
We are looking into this matter with a positive outlook. As you may know, the Netherlands is already contributing significantly to air defense, from Patriot systems and missile batteries to F-16 fighters, from manpads to our $1.4 billion drone cooperation with Ukraine, and radar systems for countering attacking drones, and more. Casper Veldkamp, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands.
According to NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Germany will play a major role in this new wave of military support for Ukraine. Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and Canada are also expected to take part. And this, he emphasized, is only the first wave. More is coming. Reported by Natalia Husak, Volodymyr Shtenilov, UATV News.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Drop them in the comments. Stay in focus with UATV and stay safe.